Hey guys, I thought I'd do a little bit of a kind of life update, I guess, but you know, kind of focused on like education and stuff. So yeah, I've recently started university, but it's just been the Freshers Week. I started on Monday the 14th of September, which was like a day after my birthday, so I'm 19 now, yes. It's kind of sad actually because I'm realising that I miss my actual school years and I'm getting older and anyway, so yeah, I am filming this a little bit early because I decided to not go in for the rest of Freshers Week, and I'll just explain that as I go on. I'm going to be looking at my thing because I have like an events list and whatnot, like a little Freshers timetable thing. The first day I got there for like, I think 8 or something, and I didn't realise that the stuff started around 10ish, but nevertheless it gave me a little bit of time to get my bearings a little bit on my own, even though my mum came up with me. Yeah, to kind of get my bearings of my area where I'll be for the next 3 years, hopefully, you know. And I also needed to sort out my little ID card and whatnot, so I did all that. Then my mum went off doing her business and I met up with some friends that were living in, because if you don't know, I'm commuting to college, and by the way, I'm studying animal management, bachelor's honours degree. Yes. I've mentioned that I do animal management and stuff in past videos, so I guess I should mention it in this one, seeing this is about that. Yeah, so the first thing I kind of did when we all grouped together, when we sat in the lecture hall, was we learnt who our lecturers were and kind of got familiar with some of the faces. We also got like a talk about what exactly our course will be about, who's who in this university that we need to know and stuff like that. Then we had a health and safety for higher education animal students. I've got a hair on it somewhere, I'm trying to get it off. Got it. And that was just kind of what we're going to need. If we don't have already, try and pick it up before the week begins. So that's stuff like boiler suits, steel-toed boots or shoes, just things like that, you know, things that I need to get. But I've got like the majority of the bulk, it's just some things that didn't cross my mind. Then we had a talk about housekeeping apparently, but I don't remember that, I don't think they actually spoke about that. And then it was lunch, so me and a few friends that I had made on that day, slash friends that I already knew, because a lot of people from my college had decided to go to uni as well, and quite a lot of them are living in. So we all kind of went to each other's rooms, or I went to some people's rooms, walked around, had some stuff to eat, met up with my mum, sat with her, told her what's happened and stuff. And then we got the handbook and a kind of little tutorial as such about how to use the Moodle page and things like that. So just kind of all the do's and don'ts of uni life and how to make the most of it and things like that. But then we learned a little bit about student reps and what it means to be a student representative, and just a little chat about that, and if anybody was interested to like put their hand up or whatever, otherwise they'll pick a volunteer. And then we got our kind of timetable that's still kind of not set in stone, but it's secure enough to follow it for the first week, understandably I suppose. Then we got our personal tutor allocated. I don't think mine was actually in, so I didn't get to see what she looked like, but they just told us who it was and to write it down. And yeah, and we had some talks from previous students that now work there and things like that, and just older students that have been there for like 2, maybe 3 years, so yeah, it was quite interesting. And then the next day, which is actually when we got this little timetable of induction week or whatever, we got a little welcome back, like just kind of settling you in a little bit more, letting you ask questions if you needed it and stuff. Then we got a personal tutorial thing, so we got put in groups, but as my group was going off, I was looking at the list of which group I was supposed to be in, because I had looked at the wrong thing. I was looking at the personal tutor rather than the induction tutor. So as I realised that my group had already gone, so I ran around to try and find them, found them, and also realised as I ran out I was supposed to write my name down for which preferred slot I should be in for a certain day for the practical. So I ended up having to do that later on, but anyway, the personal tutorial thing was quite interesting. Just a select group of us were sitting down, and one by one we'd go up to this tutor and just kind of see if we had any worries, any kind of questions we wanted to ask, and then if we had any disabilities, things like that really. and one of my friends from college was in the same group as me, so he was talking and stuff. I made a few friends in that little group, so that was cool. Also, I think I found a little travel buddy kind of, but she gets the train, but I get the bus. But it's kind of, we can travel together until we split off, if that makes sense. And then there was like a little tour sort of thing, and then after that I went home because I didn't fancy doing the icebreaker, and apparently we could leave. I mean, I didn't get in trouble the day after, so I guess it was fine. And then they had a student-teacher social thing where you get to talk to the teachers on a personal level, and I didn't really feel like doing that, so yeah, I went home. And then the next day, which was the Wednesday, that was kind of actual like freshers fair, as was Thursday and Friday. I didn't go to the Thursday and the Friday because, well, it's Thursday right now, but I'm not going tomorrow, and I didn't go today because it wasn't that impressive in a way, like the freshers fair. I'm thinking all this High School Musical kind of shit, and it wasn't as elevated as that. I mean, I did go and I had fun. I went there for a later time. I think I got there for about 11ish. Met up with some friends. Then I went in. We managed to find where the fair part was. And I've got a few posters that I don't have to show you right now, but it's at home. But I got a Hobbit poster and a Doctor Who kind of comic-looking poster. It's really cool. And they were good prices as well. And then me and some friends found our way into the sports hall. I knew it was going to be for sports places. I got dragged in to write my name down for girl rugby tryouts, and I'm not going, but I felt bad. And then the girl added me on Facebook, but I haven't like declined it or accepted it, and it's just kind of drifting there. I might accept it in a couple of weeks. Hopefully she would forget about me and not like get me. So we kind of just quickly made a quick circle around there, then got out. But I mean, the general feel of it is fun. I mean, I've only been there for like, what, 3 days? So, and we haven't started proper studying yet. So, I mean, obviously it's easy going right now, but I'm looking forward to what's to come, but I'm very, very nervous. It's going to be a tough 3 years, but I guess it's all worth it, right? If you want to get like something out of it and hopefully get yourself a secure career, which I'm hoping to get. So it's split up into different semesters, and the first semester is like 13 weeks, I think. So apparently in this semester I'll be studying mammalian I can't even say most of the words. Mammalian anatomy and physiology, principles of animal management, biological processes, and apparently they're the main ones. But I also got to choose out of 5 kind of subtopics for what my modules will be based on, and I chose companion care, animals, wildlife conservation and livestock, and the others were equine and animal therapy, but they didn't really have an interest to me. So yes, if you're wondering, I kind of hope to want to end up working in like a wildlife rehabilitation unit, or maybe like some sort of farmish environment, something like that. I prefer the more outdoorsy work, I think, because when I was in college I did 2 separate work experiences at 2 separate places. I did one at an animal sanctuary, which was more farmy kind of feel, definitely more hands-on, and one at a vet. And for the longest time I wanted to be like a veterinary nurse, but working there it just wasn't as fun as I wanted it to be. It was a lot of observing, and I know I wasn't qualified to actually do anything, but it was just in the most simplest way, it was more boring, and it wasn't what I was interested in. I definitely think I clicked more to the animal sanctuary, so that's the kind of thing I think I would enjoy doing, and that's what I'm hoping to end up doing in the future. Yeah, so for now I'm just going to leave it as that, and maybe I'll do another update sometime in the next few years, I don't know, months, whatever. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and let me know if you're going to uni and what you're studying, if you're excited and whatnot. And yeah, speak to you later. Bye.